What's up, YouTube? This is your big bro, King Jabez, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at The King Jabez. And for those who want to talk to me one-on-one, I do offer consultations. Whatever you decide to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's get to work. Let's tap in. Tonight's video is entitled Chosen Ones. They took for granted your presence. Now they're going to feel your absence. This is a message I live. I like to give what I've experienced. I don't like to just do a talk for the sake of talking. But what I've lived, what I've experienced, and this is what I've experienced. People love to underestimate you. People love to put you in a box. And they often do this when they see your potential. And they do this because, a number of reasons. One, and this is not an order of importance, I'm just talking from the hip tonight. One, they feel threatened because they feel like, man, if this person realizes his true potential, he or she can take my spot. So that self-preservation kicks in. So they feel threatened. Two, it could be jealousy. So now let me downplay you because you excelling makes me feel less about myself. And so they'll take for granted your presence. They'll try to act like you're not there. They will ignore you. They know you're there. They can't ignore you. They feel your energy. They see the gifts that are in you. They are also observing how other people treat you. But they're going out their way to act like they don't know who you are. And you want to say something about, I know you see me. You see me. You know who I am. You know what I'm doing. You know how I operate. You see the potential. You see the growth. You see the skills. And they do this hoping that you'll get discouraged, because one of the worst ways to treat another human being is to simply ignore them. This is studied in psychology. I mean, it has a real adverse effect upon people. So they know that this is a very evil thing to do. So what happens when people do this, you eventually get, if you're wise, strong enough to move on, right? The best way, in my opinion, when people are being disrespectful and rude and dishonoring you, disvalue you, what my experience is and what I've done is to move on silently and do better in life. That's the best way to deal with that. Trying to explain something to a devil is a waste of time. Trying to earn the favor of an enemy is a waste of time. Trying to change their opinion of you is darn near impossible. So your best bet is to move on and to do better, to outgrow them, to get more money, to get more opportunities, to go through more doors. And so the best revenge is success. So when people take for granted your presence, what they're doing is they're trying to devalue you, and they're hoping that you will adopt the negative opinion that they have of you for yourself. And that is the worst thing you can do. What you have to do is to remain strong and true to yourself, know your worth, know who you are, and continue to walk in your truth. Continue to live your truth. And in this context, move on. And when you move on, some of them become obsessive because they want you to fill in. Because if you move on and do better, it will be clear to everyone the problem was them and not you. So they get nervous when you move on and you do better for yourself. They get nervous when you move on and people begin to treat you how they should have treated you. You see, there's a saying that the grass is not always greener on the other side, but the truth is sometimes the grass is greener. Sometimes your breakthrough is a few thousand miles away, right? We're talking about leaving and moving to another state. Now, granted, if you don't work on yourself, if you don't develop your character and your conversation and conduct yourself well, obviously, you leave one state and take yourself wherever you go. We got that. But I'm talking about those of you who are doing that shadow work, who are working on yourself, who are who are very intentional about developing your skills, the way you communicate, how you treat people, taking care of your health, taking care of your fitness, reading books, praying, working hard. You're doing everything to make sure you are a strong triune being, spirit, soul, and body. If that is you, 444, by the way, when you move on, people will see your worth. They will be impressed with you, as they should be. And those who were jealous and hated in the past, who tried to limit your potential, will have to see that And that is in direct context of this talk. What am I saying? I'm saying in so many words. I'm about 5 minutes in. I'm saying to you this message is clear. They took for granted your presence. They ignore it. Refuse to honor you. There are times in PC when a person is jealous and hateful, they will refuse to acknowledge you. They will refuse to honor you. And this is what workplace bullying is all about, by the way. For those of you, I know you like this, who are in the workforce. Not talking the spirit behind that. Those of you who are in the workforce, this is how the devil works. They like to ignore those who are competent. Give you some. This is workforce. I know about the workforce, by the way. 14 years prior to getting on Iron the Soul. Okay, so I'm not just here running my mouth. 14 years in workforce. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. 14 years in workforce, and I have a pretty thorough understanding of how workplace bullying works. Okay, so what they do is, this is the game. You have a boss, some bonehead at the top, who has his minions who he likes to promote because he can control them, because he knows they're not this smart. He knows, I'm just be blunt with you, this Iron, right? He knows they're dumb as a box of rocks. So he'll promote 2 or 3 dummies to make you look bad. And so you got this idiot at the top, 3, 4 dummies, and you're underneath them looking stupid. That's how the game works. And that's a simplistic definition of that. Obviously, I could break it down and be more formal. I'm giving it to you in the raw today. Okay? And some of you are going through that right now. So I guarantee you, some of you women, some of you men who are under the sound of my voice, you're going through this right now or have went through this, where you had a boss who did not like you. He promoted some idiots over you to make you look even worse and ignored you. And that is a classic example of how workplace bullying works. So what does it happen? It happens everywhere. That happens in the business world, sports, the military. It happens everywhere. With music, there are people who like to control others. And one of the ways to control is to promote people who do what you tell them to do. To promote yes men and yes women. That's where the game goes. And so when you see the play and you say, you know what, I'm marching, I'm out of here, you go somewhere else and you take off. They feel that. And they also feel your absence because though they didn't honor you, you were so capable and you got so much done. You were so dependable. You're the type of person who was always there. And so though they didn't like you, they could at least have a peace of mind that if you were around, they know that you'll do the right thing. Even your enemies know that. Even your enemies know that you're a good person. They just don't like you. So the issue isn't really who you are. They know you're a good person. They know that you are responsible. They know that you are capable, but they fear that you can take their spot. So though they don't like you, they still feel safe when you're around, or they can leave knowing that you'll get the job done. But they will never give you your full honor. In other words, they'll give you enough just to survive. They will never give you enough to thrive. They'll give you enough just to survive, but never enough to thrive and to reach your full potential. So the word is clear for you all today. Here's the message. Some of you, you have to, in the next year or two, move on from a situation where you know you're not being given the respect that you've earned. Now, if you haven't earned respect, then you have to earn respect. Let me put that out there too, because some of you want respect right away without paying your dues. It doesn't work that way either. So I got to break this down 2 extremes here. One extreme is a person who wants respect, who has done nothing to earn it. Okay, and if that's you, earn your stripes. That's just the way the game goes. For those who have earned their stripes and put in the work, and you know who you are, and they're just simply refusing to honor you, move on. Respect yourself. You hear me? Respect starts with respect for self. And you have to, at some point, have the courage to do that. And listen to me. There are men and women who will never do this. Don't be one of them. There are men and women who will spend their whole life dealing with someone or multiple someones who they know does not have their back, who they know does not respect them, and they will do that to survive because they are afraid to gamble on themselves. You know, if you're okay with that, if you're okay with someone bullying your whole life, then hey, go for it. Go ahead. I mean, I'm not here to. If that offends you, if you are okay with people, men and women, bullying you your whole life, then you can take that for me. I can't do it. I just can't. I refuse. There's something in me that says no. I'm going to stand up for myself. And this doesn't mean to move on right away. You got to, again, be wise, right? Use wisdom. Timing is everything. I'm not saying do this tomorrow, okay, because I ain't finna pay your bills. But in a year or two, at some point is you start thinking long term. Where do I want to be 5 years from now? Now, if you're doing this right now to survive, I understand that. I've done that too. So again, 14 years of workforce. Of course, there were times I had to keep my mouth shut and do what you got to do. So one thing about me, I'm a realist. I'm not going to give you anything that I think is going to hurt you. So I understand there comes a time where a man has to do what a man has to do. A woman has to do what a woman has to do. I get that thoroughly. You hear me? Again, 14 years of that. I get it. But what I'm saying is that at some point, a year from now, just throwing something out there, 2 years from now, 5 years, some cases, at what point do you say, you know what, there's more for me? It doesn't mean you got to work for yourself. I mean, everyone can't be in entrepreneurship, by the way. Let me put that out there, too. Everyone isn't called to be an entrepreneur. There's no wrong working for somebody. Let me put that out there. But it may mean working for someone somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. You may be a better company or a better job. And so this message isn't to suggest, because I think that that's dangerous. I have to be responsible with my platform. I am not suggesting that everyone needs to be self-employed, entrepreneur, or content creator, something like that. That's not for everybody. Okay, that's not reality. It's not. So I'm not suggesting that. But what I am suggesting is in the right time, relocation, finding a better job, preferably finding somewhere where you feel valued. That's all I'm trying to say. And some of you have jobs when you are being valued. And if you are being valued and respected and treated like someone who is a important contribution to an organization or to a job or company, then great. That's a good feeling. But if you don't feel that way, then you may have some decisions to make. So that's all I have for you in this video. I'm glad you all tapped in and listened to this. They took for granted your presence, but now they're going to feel your absence. And so if this applies to you, great. And if it doesn't, then that's fine as well too. But this isn't for everybody, but it's for a number of people. So thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.